Hey there, everybody. Time for another game in the 1984 inside pitch. Decided to do it live again this time because last time I tried to record, my phone cut out on me just before the game-ending double play. Kind of ruined things for me, so I decided to go back and try this one live for the third game, which is simulating the third week of the 1984 season using Replay Baseball on the PC. And here is the replay roundup from or up to April 17th. Ernie Witt was the player of the week as he hit .533 for the Blue Jays. And the individual highlight, Jeff Zahn pitched a one-hitter against Oakland on Thursday. Zahn issued 4 walks, struck out 6. However, his effort was losing one as California lost 1-0. He took a no-hitter into the 10th before a home run with 2 outs cost him that game. All right, let's look at the hitting streaks for the players involved in the game today. Von Hayes enters the game with a 9-game hitting streak. However, against a lefty, Von Hayes is not in the starting lineup, and so I'm kind of iffy about using him as a pinch hitter because I would hate to have him lose his hitting streak based on pinch hitting and only getting one at bat. So look at the standings through basically between 10 to 12 to 9 or whatever the teams have games. We have in the AL East, Detroit is leading the AL East by a game over Baltimore, and a game over Boston, and a game over the Yankees. So a nice tight squeeze there. Of course, it's early. Minnesota with a 1-game lead over Kansas City in the AL West. And in our game, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Philadelphia is tied with St. Louis, a half game ahead of the Pirates, so the Pirates can jump the Phillies and move into a first-place tie with St. Louis if they get the victory here. And in the West, Houston is surprising at 9-3, 1 game ahead of San Diego. All right, so let's look at our starting lineups for today's game. These are the as-played lineups from the game played April 17th, 1984. For the Phillies, leading off at second base will be Juan Samuel. First base is John Wockenfuss. Third base is Mike Schmidt. Batting cleanup and right is Sixto Lescano. Hitting fifth and left field is Glenn Wilson. Hitting sixth and center is Gary Maddox. Batting seventh and catching is Bo Diaz. Eighth at shortstop is Ivan DeJesus. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Charles Hudson. For the Pirates, leading off will be center fielder Marvell Wynn. Johnny Ray hits second. Jim Morrison is at third, hitting third. Jason Thompson's the first baseman, hitting cleanup. Tony Pena will catch and hit fifth. The elder statesman Amos Otis will bat sixth and play left field. Doug Frobel's in right, he will hit seventh. Dale Barras at short, he will hit eighth. And John Tudor, the lefty, is on the mound for the Pirates, which is why Von Hayes is not in the starting lineup. But he does have a 9-game hitting streak, but I really would hate to see him have to break that losing or that hitting streak because he was 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter. That would be kind of rough, I think. But, hey, if it's for the betterment of the team, then that's what we'll do. I did also print out, and I will read these off as the game goes along. I did print out the stats for both teams. It's kind of small to read on here, but I've condensed them on my little cheat sheet, so I will read these as they come up so you can know how the players are doing. Again, it's very early, but as we get longer into the season, then these stats will certainly be more meaningful as we go along. All right, so John Tudor is on the mound. He is the pitcher for the Pirates. And Tudor, coming into this game, 1-0 with a 3.18 ERA in 2 starts. So he's off to a pretty good start. And he'll be facing Juan Samuel. Juan played against Samuel. Samuel enters the game, no homers, 2 RBIs, hitting .297. So Tudor about ready to face Samuel in this game one from April 17th at Three River Stadium is underway. 3-2 for Tudor is against a right-hander. Samuel is a blank. Would be a walk plus against a lefty, but against a righty it's blank. So we finished the at-bat on Samuel. 5-4 is a single past second base. Had he been facing a righty, that would have been a ground out, but since he's facing a lefty, it's a single. So it's a single to left for Juan, played against Samuel. He leads off with a base hit, and he may be looking to run. His attempt, hello Tribe fan, how you doing? His attempt is an 11, nothing from Tudor, so a 1 through 11 he will attempt to steal. And he does, so he does get the jump. So Samuel starts as a 17, -1 from Tudor makes him a 16. Tony Pena, -1 makes him a 15. So 1 to 15 he will be successful. And he is. Stolen base for Sam Well. He stole 72 on the season. So he definitely, hi Mark, how you doing? He definitely is looking to run and do so quite efficiently. All right, so Sam Well, a single and a stolen base to get us started. Here's John Walkenfuss. He's hitting 800, but he's only 2 for 5. So it's no homers, 3 RBIs. So he is 2 for 5. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt with his average. But he's been productive. They spot him against lefties. 1-4 against Tudor is a strikeout. 10 is too much against lefties. It's only a 6. So don't strike out. We'll go to Walkenfuss. 5-2. He flies to right. And that's a good chance for Sam Well to get to third base because he can run very well. It's all up to his BR rating and the right fielder's arm. His BR rating is a 4. And the right fielder is Frobel. It's a -1. So it'd be a 3. A 3 or less, he will make it. 4 or 5, he's got to hold. 6, he could be out on the red dot. 3, he makes it. So he does make it to third base with only 1 out. So it moves up on that fly ball by Walkenfuss. And now the Pirates have to make a decision. Do they bring the infield in or this early, or do they try to stop the big inning? With Mike Schmidt up, I think they're going to play back. Schmidt enters the game at a 344 average, 5 homers, and 16 RBI. 2-6. 2-6 is a potential wild pitch for Tudor. 8, though, is out of range, so no wild pitch, just a foul ball. And we'll go to Tudor. Finish the start the bat again. 5-5 is a range play. So a range play on Mike Schmidt's card. Hey, ID, how you doing? Range play on Mike Schmidt's card. 2-1 is a Starline 5, which is a fly to center. So we're checking the range of Marvell Wynn. He's only a 2. So good chance this may drop in. And it does. So a failed range play, we'll see if it's a double. 5 or 6, it's a double. It's a 1. It's only a single. But that'll be enough to score Sam Well from third base. RBI single for Mike Schmidt. And the Phillies lead it 1-0. And for Schmidt, that's RBI number 17 on the season. RBI number 17 on the season for Schmidt. 1-0 Phils. Now Schmidt, his attempt is a 1. So I guess we could try to see if anything happens on the D20. It's not 6. Nothing's going to happen. So now we go to Sixto Lezcano, and the infield's at double play depth, of course, looking to turn 2. 4-5 is a home run question mark. Against a right-hander, it's 1-7. That's a 19 out of range, so no home run. We go to Lezcano. And Sixto, 2-6 is a question mark 8. Against a lefty, it goes to 7. That's a 12, so that's going to be a fly to center. And that's 2 away. Schmidt has to hold it first. So Tudor got around that mistake, and Lezcano just missed it. Oh, forgot to say, Lezcano is hitting .333, 1 homer and 3 RBIs. All right, here's Glenn Surfing USA Wilson. He comes to the game with a .316 average, 2 homers, 12 runs driven in. 2 outs and Schmidt at first. 6-1. That's a star line against a righty for Tudor, so there will be an out. So what kind of an out? 3. That's a ground ball to third, handled by Morrison. That's going to do it. But the Phillies, thanks to Juan Samuel and Mike Schmidt, combined to take a 1-0 lead on the Pirates. It's Philadelphia 1, Pittsburgh coming to bat. And on the mound for the Phils will be right-hander Charles Hudson. He's had a rough 2 games so far. He is 1-1 with a 6.52 ERA in his 2 starts. And he'll be facing leadoff man Marvell Wynn, who's off to a hot start for the Pirates. He is hitting .381, no homers and 2 runs driven in. But a .381 start. 6-5 is an error on a grounder, possibly. We go to Wynn's card, see if it's a grounder. 2-3, it's a fly to left, so no worries of an error there. Marvell Wynn is retired, 1 away. Brings up Johnny Ray, second baseman. He's hitting .326, two homers and 8 runs driven in. 5-3 is a possible hit by pitch. Hudson's a -2. He's a 4. That makes it a total of 2. 13's above that. No hit by pitch. We finish on Ray's card. 6-5 is a fly to left. So a couple of fly to lefts. It has been easy work for Hudson. He's trying to work on his ERA. Here's Jim Morrison. And Morrison only hitting .200, but he's only had 5 at bats. He's 1 for 5. No homers and 1 run driven in. 1-1 on Hudson is blank, so we go to Morrison's card. 1-2. It's the star line 1. It's a ground ball to second. It's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Charles Hudson. He is done. So are the Pirates in short order. So at the end of 1, it is Philadelphia 1 and Pittsburgh nothing. All right, here's Gary Maddox, center fielder. He will lead off for the Phils. And on the season, Maddox is only hitting .222, no homers or runs driven in. Slow start for Gary. 4-1 would be a single, but he's not tired. So we will just go to Maddox's card. Finish the at bat. 6-4 is a ground ball to third. And there's one away. Maddox is out of there. Here's Bo Diaz, the catcher. Bo Diaz also off to a slow start. 125, no homers or RBI. 1-2 is a walk chance for Tudor, but 20 is way above the walk range. So finish it up on Diaz. 5-4, and that is a fly to center. Handled out there by Marvell Wynn. 2 down. So Tudor off to a better start this inning than last inning. He's going to face the shortstop, Ivan DeJesus. DeJesus, 156, no homers and 4 runs driven in. 3-1 is a potential walk, and this is a 3, so that will fit the walk category. Even the -2 won't stop it. It's still well below a 9. So it will be a 2-out walk to DeJesus. And now he's got an attempt rating of 3, but with the pitcher coming up, I'm going to eschew any potential stolen bases because I don't think you want to do that. I think you want to get the pitcher out of the way. So they're going to let Hudson hit and keep the runner right where he is. All right, 4-5. 4-5 is, look at that, a home run question mark, and a 1 fits that, but he's got no home run power, so we go straight to Hudson. Finish the at bat. 1-3, it's a question mark 8. It's up to a 12. How about that? He must have done something. And it's a 10, so that's going to be a double for Charles Hudson. My goodness, a double for Hudson. Let's check the runner advancement. DeJesus is a BR of 3. So on a double to center field, center fielder's arm, Marvell Wynn, a +1. Is going to add even 1 more to that. Makes his BR now a 4. Plus there are 2 outs. That makes his BR a 5. And then a double from first base, center field double. Yeah, another one. It's a 6. So he's going to score automatically because we're up to a 6. So there's no throw even going to be made. DeJesus will score on the double by Hudson. And how about that? The Phillies now take a 2-0 lead. Charles Hudson helps himself with that RBI double. Tudor shaking his head. Here's Juan Samuel. 6-6 is a blank against a righty. Samuel, 3-3, grounds to third. And the inning is over. So the Phillies get on another run thanks to Charles Hudson helping himself. How about that? 2-0 in favor of the Phillies. And as ID says, who needs the DH when you got Charles Hudson? All right. Jason Thompson steps to the plate. Thompson for the Pirates hitting .270, 2 homers and 9 runs driven in. 3-1 is a strikeout chance for Hudson. So let's see, 7 is going to do it because that's a 9 and the ballpark doesn't change it. So Thompson down on strikes. Thompson is out of there. 1 away. Here's Tony Pena, the catcher. And Pena on the replay so far hitting .257, 2 homers and 3 runs driven in. 6-1 is blank for Hudson. Go to Pena. 4-5, question mark 8. That's an 11. Against a right-hander, that's going to be a triple for Tony Pena. 10-11 is a triple. So Tony Pena, first hit of the game for the Pirates, and it's a big one. It's a triple. And the Pirates have something cooking here in the bottom of the second. The Phillies will, let's see, 2-0. You don't want to play the infield in when you're up 2-0. So even though Otis is a weak hitter, they're going to play the infield back. He's 097, no homers and 1 RBI. 1-2 is the ballpark, so the first chance we get to go to Three River Stadium to have the at-bat for Otis, rather. 3-4. 3-4 is a single to center field, so didn't matter about infield in or not. Amos Otis, the old man, gets a base hit, RBI single, and the Pirates are on the board, cuts the lead to 2-1. So how about that? And AO does not have any steal chances, so he will hold. I will roll the D20 and see if there's a pickoff or not. Has to be a 20. There's not a 20, so no worries there. Doug Frobel, number 7 man in the order, is up for the Pirates. He's hitting .231, no homers and a 1 run driven in. 3-1 is a strikeout chance. 17 is not too much. Froebel has a high strikeout total, so that will be a K. So Froebel is gone, 2 down. And it's going to bring up Dale Berra, son of Yogi. Berra, a measly 167 with no homers or RBI. 4-6. Home run question mark. 17 is out of range, so no home run. We go to Berra's card. 6-6, it's a ground ball to first. And the inning is over, but the Pirates do pick up a run thanks to the triple by Pena and the single by Otis. At the end of 2, it's 2-1. Favor of the Phillies. Favor of the Phillies. All right. So Tudor is going to come back out and see if he can't get a little bit better than he's done this first 2 innings. He's got to deal with Wackenfuss. And Wackenfuss fly to right his first time up. Tudor, 3-6. Strikeout chance. 15's too much. Go to Wackenfuss. 5-3 is a single past the pitcher. So Wackenfuss laces a base hit up the middle. Leadoff single for Wackenfuss. 1 away, or 1 on, nobody out for Mike Schmidt. RBI single in his first at bat. Tudor, 2-3. Strikeout chance, 9. And that's plenty to get Schmidt. Schmidt is out of there, 1 away. So Schmidt's gone. That brings up Lascano. 6-2, strikeout chance, and Lascano's gone. So back-to-back strikeouts by Tudor. And that'll bring up Glenn Wilson. Grounded to third his first time up. 2-2 is the ballpark again, so we go right back to Three Rivers. 6-2 on Three Rivers, a ground ball to short. And a relatively easy inning this time around for Tudor. He gets it done. We go to the bottom of the third. Still 2-1 Phils. And Tudor, the pitcher, will lead things off. He's a 211 hitter, so not bad at all. 5-1 on Hudson is a range play. So we got a range play on a Tudor at bat. 3-1 is a ground ball to third. Checking the range of Schmidt. Schmidt's range is a 5. So unless this is a 6, it's going to be an out. And Schmidt handles it no issues. So 1 away. Tudor is out of there. Back to Marvell Wynn. 3-6. 3-6 is right back to the ballpark again. So we're back to Three Rivers. 3-5. 3-5 is a star line 4, which on Hudson is a ground ball to first. So 2 down. 2 up, 2 down, and here comes Johnny Ray. 2-3. Switch hitter batting left, so it's a blank. So we go to Ray's card to finish. 4-2 is a fly to center. So that's going to end the inning. Nothing doing for the Buccos. We go to the 4th inning. It is still Phillies clinging to a 2-1 lead as Tudor and Hudson do battle. And it'll be Gary Maddox leads things off for the Phils. Maddox, first time up, grounded to third. 2-1 is a double question mark, and against a righty, a 1-20 is a star line, so it's an automatic star line against a righty for Tudor. So it's going to be an automatic out. And 3 says it's a ground ball to third, so Maddox will ground to Morrison again. Second time in a row, so there's 1 away. Here's Bo Diaz. Diaz flew to center his first trip, 4-6. Range play at the ballpark, so we're right back to Riverfront again for a range play. 5-6, that's a double to center field, but we got a range play. So the range of Marvell Wynn is a 2. So if this is a 2 or less, he can stop that double. And he does. He catches up to it and grabs it in the gap. Takes a double away from Bo Diaz. That's out number 2. 2 down, bases clear for DeJesus, and he's walked and scored his first time. 5-6, blank for Tudor, so we go to DeJesus. And we get a 6-5. That's a single to center field, or left field rather. So back-to-back hits there for DeJesus. He's 2 for 2. And that brings up the pitcher Hudson. Last time he had the RBI double, so never count Hudson out. Here's Tudor, 6-5. Against a right-hander, it's a potential walk. And a 3, but Hudson does not walk at all, so he will not be a walk. Hudson will have to do it himself. 2-1, he's going to ground to short. So the inning's over. Nothing doing for the Phillies. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 2-1, favor of the Phils. here at Three Rivers. All right, here's Jim People Are Strange Morrison. Morrison grounded to second his first trip, 5-6. Potential error, so it could be an error. We don't know. We'll see. That's a 2, most likely going to be an error. 2-2 is a fly to center. Centerfielder, though, is Maddox. Oh, Maddox is a 0 error. How about that? So there is not going to be an error, despite the 2 on the D20. He's a 0, so he does not make an error. So it's good play for Maddox. And there's one away for Jason Thompson. Thompson struck out his first chance. 4-5. Would be a single, but he's not tired, so we go to Thompson. 6-3, Starline 3. That is a ground ball to short. So 2 down, and that brings up Tony Pena. An ID, if I'm doing anything wrong in this game, if I play something wrong, please let me know. I think I've got the rules fairly down pretty good, but, you know, always nice to have a second set of eyes. All right, here's Tony Pena, who tripled his first time, 4-3. Blank on Hudson. We go to Pena. 3-4. Ground ball back to the pitcher. And that's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Charles Hudson. So 4 innings are in the books. We go to the 5th. Still Phillies clinging to a 2-1 lead over the Pirates. And Juan Samuel. Juan played against Samuel. He singled and grounded to third. 5-3. Against a lefty is a K+. Against a righty, it is blank. So we go to Samuel to finish. 3-5. Starline 2. That's a ground ball to short. Handled by Berra. All right, here is, well, thank you, ID. That's high praise coming from you. All right, here's Wackenfuss. He singled his last trip, 1-for-2. 1-2 is a walk. 17 is going to still be a walk because of the 21 here. Even the -2 from the stadium makes him a 19, but 17 falls within the 19. So Wackenfuss did a lot of walking, and he does it right here. 1 out walk to Wackenfuss. He has a hold, so he's not going to even try to do any kind of stealing or anything like that. And you're not going to hit and run with Schmidt. You're going to let Schmidt swing away. So here's Schmidt, 1-for-2, single and a strikeout. 2-4 is a strikeout. Could be another one, but 20, way too high. Even with the 18 against the lefty, that 20 is going to be out of the range. So Schmidt gets a reprieve, 6-4. He's going to ground to third. Could be a double play, though. Could be worse. 3 on his double play rating. Tudor -1. And the pivot at second base, Johnny Ray, is a 0. So we got a 2 for a double play. 1-2 for a double play. And it's a double play. So Schmidt, instead of striking out, he hits into the round the horn 5-4-3 double play. Probably wished he would have struck out by now. Phillies are gone in the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th, still 2-1. Favor of Philadelphia. And for the Bucks, it'll be Amos Otis. To lead things off, Otis got a single, RBI single, his first trip. 6-1 is blank for Hudson, so we go to Otis's card. 3-2, a ground ball to short. So Otis made short work of, 1 away. Brings up Doug Frobel, right fielder. 2-4. 2-4 for Hudson is a range play. 2-4 is a range play. 5-1 on Frobel is a ground ball to short. We're checking the range of DeJesus, who's a 2. So Frobel might be able to sneak it by. If it's a 1 or 2, it's a good play. Anything else, it gets by for a hit. It's a 3. Base hit for Frobel. He snuck it past DeJesus with limited range over there. So he's aboard. Frobel is. Oh, we got to check Frobel's attempt rating. Forgot to do that. Frobel is a 4, but Hudson adds 2. So his total now is a 6 for an attempt. 10, though, is too high for a steal and a hit and run, so it's really nothing going on. And here's Dale Berra. Oops, that's a foul ball because that one went out of the dice tray. 6-2 is a strikeout chance, and a 1, that's going to be a strikeout all day long. 2 down for John Tudor. Still too early to pinch hit for Tudor. It's only gone 5 innings, so they're going to let him hit a swing away. 2-3. 2-3 is a lefty, so it's a blank. So we go to Tudor's card. 1-6 is a ground ball to third. That's going to end the inning. All right, so after 5 complete, we'll do a quick pause and recap what has happened so far. And then I have a question for the group as to my dilemma that I have coming up. there is your score. I realize I write messy, especially when I'm doing a video and I'm running real fast. 2-1 in favor of the Phillies over the Pirates through 5. You can see there the single and a stolen base by Sam Well, and he scored on a Schmidt single back in the first. In the second, we had a walk to DeJesus, and that improbable double by Charles Hudson drove him in and make it 2-0. Then Pena tripled with 1 out in the second, scored on an AO single, and that's where we are 2-1. Now my dilemma is with the Philadelphia Phillies. This guy right here, Von Hayes, was given the day off against the lefty Tudor, but he carries a 9-game hitting streak. So my question is, or my dilemma is, do I risk his hitting streak with a pinch hitting appearance later in the game, because he only gets the 1 at bat to try to extend the hitting streak? So that's my dilemma. I'm going to try to avoid using him unless it's something where it just makes, like they have no other options. So I'm going to try to play it that way, but it may come out the other way. So that's just my dilemma. I don't know how other people handle those things, but I'm going to try to use other pinch hitters, depending on, of course, who's pitching for Pittsburgh and so forth, and what the score is and all that good stuff. All right, so Lezcano leads off the 6th against Tudor. He's 0 for 2, a fly to center and a strikeout. 3-3 for Tudor is a strikeout chance, but 16 is way too much. And Lezcano 4-1, question mark 7 against the lefty, only goes to 7. That's in 16, way out of range. So it's a fly to left, 1 away. My inkling is to initially not use him, but if it gets down to where the Phillies need a big hit to win the game, then I think you've got to use him. So, but if I can avoid it and still use other guys and get the job done, I'll do that. Here's Wilson. 6-3 is a blank, so we go to Wilson's card. I feel like a 30-game hitting streak, it might be a different story, but 9's, so-so. 4-3 is a question mark 8 again, and against the lefty, that's up to 10. That's a 7, so that's a single for Glenn Wilson. So Glenn Wilson with the base hit. Glenn Wilson a base hit. Oh, his attempt. Let me do his attempt. His attempt is a 2, so let's see if he can do anything. 0 from Tudor. It is a 9, so nothing's happening. So we'll go to Maddox's card. 5-1 on Tudor is a range play, so we're going to check the range of somebody. 2-5 is a ground ball to third, so we're checking the range of Morrison, and Morrison has a range of 3. So it could be a double play, could be a base hit, we don't know. 3 or less, and he makes the play. It's a 6, so it gets by him for a base hit, and since it's a 6, we got to see if it's a 5 or 6, if it's going to be a double. It's not, it's just a single. So S5, single past third, and the runner on first to get to third on S5, you got to have a 6 BR, so that ain't happening for Glenn Wilson. So, but Maddox does get the base hit, and 2 are on with only 1 out. Phillies are threatening to increase the lead. Here's Bo Diaz. 5-1 is another range play, so we're looking for back-to-back range plays. 2-1 is a double to center field, but Marvell Wynn has a chance to track it down, but his range is only a 2. So this could blow the game wide open. It's a 6, so he fails. That's going to be a double to center field for Bo Diaz. Now we got to check runner advancement. We know that Wilson's going to score from second. Just a matter of whether Maddox can score from first. There is only 1 out, so you don't get that extra boost, but you do get a boost of 1 on a double to center from first to home. And then the BR rating of Maddox is a 2, so that makes it a 3 when you add the 1 on the chart. And then Marvell Wynn's a 1, makes it a 4. So 1 to 4, he will make it. 5, he holds. 6, he's going to be out. 1, he makes it. So good play. 2-run double. 2-run double for Bo Diaz. Phillies have broken it open 4-1 against John Tudor, and John Tudor may be looking for some relief. See if he can get through the inning. He's good for 28 batters right now. He's at 26 coming up, which is DeJesus. Let's see what DeJesus can do. 4-4 is a blank, so we go to DeJesus. 2-2 is a ground ball to third, and that'll freeze the runner. So 2 down, and that brings up Hudson, the pitcher, so maybe Tudor can get out of it without any further damage. Let's see. 4-1, he's not tired yet, so it won't be a single. Charles Hudson 1-3 is a question mark 8. That's a 4. It's another base. That's actually another double for Charles Hudson. What in the heck is going on here? 2 doubles for Charles Hudson. It's another run, and Tudor is going to be out of there. He's not even going to be able to make it through the 6th. That's his 5th run allowed. So he is going to have to exit the ball game. And it looks like Von Hayes may very well get the night off because the Phillies don't look like they need him. But Tudor is going to have to exit the ball game. And let's see who they want to bring in relief. Probably somebody that has some long relief ratings. Looks like they're going to bring in Don Robinson. Don Robinson is your pitcher. Don Robinson. He's a starter/reliever, but according to the sheet here, he's not scheduled to start for a while, so we're going to give him a relief outing. He can face 9 batters in relief, so they need some innings out of him. Save that bullpen. Here's Juan Samuel. 6-1 is a strikeout chance. 12, that's going to do it. He struck him out. So Don Robinson, facing the only batter he's faced in the 6th, he strikes him out. But the Phillies strike for 3 and take a 5-1 lead. All 5 runs charged to Tudor, who is on the hook for the loss. And Charlie Hudson back out. He can face 25 batters. So far he has faced 18, so he's in good shape. And he's back to the top of the order for the Pirates, and Marvell Wynn. So Marvell Wynn, the batter, against Hudson. 1-1 is blank on Hudson. We go to Wynn. 3-3. 3-3 is a star line 5, which is a ground ball to short. Easy play there by the shortstop to Jesus. 1 away. Here's Johnny Ray. 2-6 range play at 3 Rivers. So bring 3 Rivers into the forefront for a range play. Oops, that's a leaner, so we'll re-roll that. 6-2. 6-2 is a ground ball to short. We're checking the range of DeJesus, which is a 2. 1-2, he makes the play. And he does. Nice play for DeJesus as he gets Johnny Ray. 2 up, 2 down. And here is Morrison. Oops, Morrison. Would be nice if I could get the D20 to fall in there, wouldn't it? How do you miss a hole that big? When you're not paying attention, that's how you do it. So let me get the D20. I'm going to keep the red and white that's down there. And I'll eventually will grab the D20. I might have to crawl on the table to get it, but I'll do it. And we'll roll that D20. Roll that bean footage. All right. So we get a 6-1. Move my chair up now. Okay, 6-1 on Hudson is blank. All that for a blank roll. How about that? All right, 1-6, the inverse. It's a fly to left. Sorry about all that. But Morrison is gone. 3 up, 3 down. And Charlie Hudson, a fine 6-inning performance so far. Definitely going to improve on that ERA that he's been building up. We go to the 7th. Here's Don Robinson against Mr. Wackenfuss. And this is where, well, you could bring in a lefty, I guess, but you're up by so many. Why would you bother? You might as well keep your same lineup. So here's Wackenfuss, 3-3. And against a righty, that's a blank. Wackenfuss, 2-6, grounds back to the pitcher. So it grounds back to Robinson, 1 away. That brings up Michael Jack Schmidt. 1-6, ballpark. So we're going back to 3 River. 1-3 is a ground ball to first. Handled over there by Mr. Thompson, 2 down. 2 up, 2 down for Sixto. Lescano. 2-4. 2-4 is a strikeout plus 15. His strikeout is a 10, but you add 10 to that because of the plus, makes it a 20. 15 is less than the 20, so it is a strikeout. And the inning's over. So we reached the 7th inning stretch here at 3 River Stadium, with the Phillies seemingly in control by the score of 5-1. But hey, there's still 3 innings left for the Pirates, so you never know. We'll keep an eye on Hudson, see if he can keep going. Right now, he can face 25 batters. He has faced right now so far 21. So bullpen is on alert for the Phillies. Now let's look and see who they've got down there to use. They got Tug Mcgraw loosening down there. Tug Mcgraw, the old man. Tug Mcgraw is loosening. All right, here's Jason Thompson. 1-5 is a strikeout chance, and that's a 9. That's a 7. 7's less than the 9. It's a strikeout. So Thompson is out of there. 1 down for Tony Pena. 4-4, and that's a blank. So we go to Pena's card. 6-3. 6-3 is a fly to left, 2 down. And Hudson has quite a few blanks on his card, and that's always good for a pitcher because the batters usually get themselves out. The pitchers usually get in trouble on their own card. So majority of the time, not always, but when you got blanks, that's a pretty good sign. 5-5, and it's another blank. So we go to Amos Otis. Otis, my man, 2-2. He's gonna fly to right. So Hudson just letting the Pirates get themselves out. So through 7, it is still 5-1 favor the Phillies, and they are large and in charge. And Glenn Wilson will lead off the top of the 8th. Top of the 8th. Robinson 4-3, and it's yet another blank. The only blank on Robinson's card, and I found it. It's at 4-3. It's the only place he's got a blank, and I found it. It's Wilson 6-2, fly to left. See, Wilson got himself out. If you can get those blanks, you're probably in good shape. You can do that. 1 away, and here is Gary Maddox. 1-4, and that's a blank again. 2-1, singled. That time Maddox threw me off. He singled off his own card. So he is aboard. Now, there is a thing on here too where if the gap of the score is greater than the innings remaining, you kind of eschew the strategy rolls. So in this case, 5-1's a 4-run lead. There's only 2 innings left, so no more strategy rolls unless the score gets closer. So we're gonna have Maddox just stay there, and we're not gonna check for any pickoffs or anything. We're just gonna go ahead and keep rolling. Oh, I dropped my D20 again. How did that happen? Slipped right out of my hands, folks. I don't even know where it went now. Now I gotta find another D20 on the fly because I don't know what happened to it. Having issues, as they say. So let's pull the green D20. How about that? It's 19, so it's 2-6. 2-6 for Robinson. That's a strikeout chance, but 19 is too much. Go to Diaz, 3-2. It's a star line 6, which is a ground ball to short. Could be a double play because Diaz has a 4. Nothing for Robinson. Pivot, Johnny Ray is a 0 as well. So 1-4, and we got a double play. And it is a double play. Diaz grounds into the 6-4-3 double play. And the 8th inning is over. So now Hudson is set to bat second next inning, so they would probably like to get through this inning and then bring in McGraw for the 9th perhaps. So Hudson, right on the verge. Let's see how many batters he's faced. He's faced 24. He's allowed 25. But then you can go past that and just have to watch out for the tired ratings. So right now we got Frobel, Berra, and a pinch hitter for Robinson. 5-3. Hit by pitch. It's a -2. That's a 5 for a total of 3. 7's above the 3. No hit by pitch. 4-4. Fly to center. 1 away. Brings up Dale Berra. And on the Pirate bench, looks like Lee Mazzilli has picked up a bat. And he will hit for Robinson. So Lee Mazzilli, another aged veteran at this point in his career, will hit, and then they'll get a new pitcher in for the Pirates, probably Cecilio Guante. All right, here's Hudson. Facing Berra. 5-5 is another blank. Right on cue. 2-6. Oh, that time he threw me off. He singled to center. So Berra singles, and now, of course, strategy rolls are out the window because of the score. But Lee Mazzilli got to write him in. Pinch hitting. Lee Mazzilli. Hudson 6-3, another blank. Mazzilli 5-5, question mark 8. Up here it goes to a 14, but that's a 19, so it's just going to be a fly to center. And Mazzilli flies out as a pinch hitter for out number 2, and it's right back to Marvell Wynn. He is 0 for 3. He came into this game hitting .381. That's going to suffer quite a bit because he's 0 for 3 right now. 1-5 strikeout chance. He's going to strike out. Now he's 0 for 4. So that's going to do it for the Buccos. Charles Hudson pitches 8 solid. How about that? And Tug Mcgraw will mop up. No save situation, of course. Now, it could be mean and pinch hit Von Hayes here in the 9th, but I won't do that because the score does not have that make sense. So Cecilio Guante will be the new pitcher for the Buccos. Here in the 9th, he'll be facing DeJesus, a pinch hitter that will not be Von Hayes, and Juan Samuel. And the pinch hitter is actually going to be, it looks like it's going to be Greg Gross. So Greg Gross, another veteran lefty, will be on to pinch hit in this 5-1 game. DeJesus will lead it off, though, against Guante. 2-1 is a walk plus. His walk is an 11. You add 10 for the plus, makes it a 21. -2 from the stadium is a 19, but a 5 is way under 19. So DeJesus will walk, and you probably could bunt with Hudson, but I've already promised Gross an at bat, so we'll go and give it to him. So Greg Gross into pinch hit for Hudson here in the 8th inning. I know the score sheet's messy. It cleans up nicely, though, when I put it in Replay Baseball computer. Cleans up really, really nicely. All right, here is Guante. 6-6 strikeout chance. His strikeout's only a 3, though, so no strikeout on Gross. 2-4. 2-4 is a single to center field. So how about that? Single to center. What will the runner do? S8 to get from first to third. You lose 1 on the BR. So the BR rating of DeJesus is a 3, drops him down to a 2. And the center fielder arm is a +1, though, so that brings it back to a 3. So we'll see if he can make it. 1, 2, or 3. 6, he did not make it, and we get to go to that. And the reason I did that on purpose, actually, because I wanted a 6. So what happens when you get a 6 is you go to this secondary roll right in here. We're going to re-roll 1d6 and see if we get a 1, 2 through 5, or a 6. And that will dictate what happens next. We get a 4. 4 falls in this category, 2 to 5. So it says here, lead runner thrown out, but if the trailing runner's BR is greater or equal to the roll, then he advances. So this time, DeJesus was thrown out. We'll call it 8 to 5 at third base. Obviously, Gross, his BR is only a 2. It's not greater than 4, so Gross has to hold. So base hit, but the greedy DeJesus is out, going to third, trying to get greedy. But they have a 5-1 lead, so they figured they were playing with house money. They could do it. All right, here's Samuel. 2-5, error chance. 1-6 is a double to right field. 11 for the right fielder of the Pirates. That is Frobel. His error is a 9. 11's above that, but the trouble is it's a double. So we got a double for Samuel. Double to right. And if you look at the chart, a double to right. To score from first, you lose 1 on your BR. So the BR from from Gross, the BR of Gross was a 2. It drops him down to a 1. Right fielder arm is a -1. That's a 0, so he cannot score. It won't even be an attempt. So he will stop at third base. So runners are at second and third with 1 out. And the infield's going to have to come in for Mr. Walkenfuss. You can't give up any more runs. Can't afford to. Guante in trouble. 3-1. Strikeout plus. That'll get him out of it. Strikeout plus and plus a 1 on the D20. That's a guaranteed strikeout. 2 down. 2 down. You're saying he advanced to second on that last play? Which last play are we talking about? Where the guy got thrown out at third? He couldn't advance because the BR was not greater than the dice roll. That's the way the book plays it. Book plays it. You gotta be better than that to advance. So I'm not seeing what you're seeing there. All right. And at this point, where the score is, it may not matter anyway. Here's Guante. 3-4 for Guante. Walk. 10. That's definitely going to be a walk. His walk is too much. Schmidt walks a lot. And that's going to load the bases. So the bases are loaded with 2 outs for Sixto Lescano and Guante trying to get out of this mess. This will be his 6th batter face, so after this, if he doesn't get him out, he's facing fatigue. 4-4 is a star line though, so he gets out of it. Against the righty, it's a star line. 5 is a ground ball to second, and that's going to end the inning. So all that mess and no runs for the Phillies, but they don't need them. They're up 5-1. And we go to the ninth, bottom of the ninth rather. And the aged one, Mr. Tug Mcgraw, is in the ball game. Tug Mcgraw on the 84 season, on the full season, he was 2-0 with 3.79 ERA, no saves. And of course, this is not a save situation either. And he'll be facing heart of the order, Ray, Morrison, and Thompson for the Buccos. 6-1. 6-1 on McGraw is a blank, so we go to Ray. 1-1 is a ground ball to short. 1 away. And the Pirates just don't have their hitting shoes on today. Looks like the Phillies are going to pass them in the standings. McGraw 4-1, another blank. Morrison 5-4 is a fly to left, so that's 2 down. And the Pirates down to their last out. It's Jason Thompson. Jason Thompson, the lefty. Would you pinch hit a right-hander for him? You know what? He's 0 for 3. I think we're going to do that just for the heck of it. They're going to use a pinch hitter. They're going to bring in Bill Madlock. So Bill Madlock, our right-hander, is going to pinch hit for Thompson. Bill Madlock. Just for kicks and giggles, and he is a right-hander. So, plus Thompson's 0 for 3 with 2 Ks, so you're not really losing anything. McGraw, 4-1, another blank. Go to Madlock. 6-2, and because he's facing a lefty, he doubles to left. So Bill Madlock, a pinch hit double. And if this was ID doing this, he would pat himself on the back as being a great manager, which he is, so I'm not so much, but I got lucky that time. All right, let's check and see what we can do. The funny thing is you can check Jason Thompson. A 6-2, he would have had a question mark 8, and that would have been a 6, and he would have been out, and the game would have been over. So that time it did work. But Pirates have a long way to go with 2 outs. Here's Tony Pena. 1-1 is a double question mark against a right-hander. 1-4 is a single. That's a 13. Nope, not going to happen. Go to Pena. 3-6 for Pena is a single pass short, so it's not over yet, folks. Single pass short. And let's see if the run can score. Madlock probably should have put a pinch runner in. I wasn't even thinking about that, with the score being what it was. Madlock, BR is a 2. There are 2 outs, makes him a 3. And then a S6. Now he needs a 3 through 6 to get there, and he does. So that with the 2 outs, he was able to score. That run comes in. Pena, RBI. And now that brings up Amos Otis, but they might pinch hit for Amos Otis too. Let's see who they got on the bench. Left, they do have Lee Lacy, and they have Brian Harper. They're going to go with Lee Lacy. They're going to substitute Lee Lacy for Mr. Otis. So Lee Lacy is going to pinch hit right here against McGraw. Lee Lacy. Pena's at first. Now it's a 5-2 game, so we're still going to eschew any of the strategy rolls because of the spread of the score. 6-6 is blank on McGraw, so we go to Lacy's card. 3-4. 3-4 is a star line 3, ground ball to second, and the ball game is over. So the Phillies take care of the Pirates. They give up a run in the ninth. Final score 5-2, favor of the Phillies. They won their game in real life 4-1. Let's see, I don't think there were any errors in this game. There were 4 in the real game. And let's check hits real quick just to get a final line score. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got 12 hits unofficially for the Phillies. 5, 12, and 0 for the Phils. And for the Pirates, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hits for the Buccos. Alright, so unofficially, this is unofficial till I put it in the replay computer. Unofficially, the Phillies beat the Pirates by the score of 5-2. 5 runs, 12 hits, no errors for the Phillies. 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for the Pirates. Winning pitcher Charles Hudson, he improves to 2-1. And losing pitcher John Tudor drops to 1-1. And obviously no save with the score being what it was. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that presentation of Inside Pitch. And for the people who came in late and did not see it, I have presented the replay roundup. This is what Replay Baseball does after each week. So I'm simming the rest of the games on Replay Baseball. And I highlighted the fact that Von Hayes had a 9-game hitting streak, and he will still keep the 9-game hitting streak because he didn't play. And in case you missed it earlier, one of the highlights from this particular week was Jeff Zahn pitched a one-hitter against Oakland. He had a no-hitter into the 10th before he gave a home run with 2 outs to lose the game 1-0. So tough luck loss for Jeff Zahn. Player of the week was Ernie Witt. And the standings coming into this game, Philadelphia was ahead of Pittsburgh by the score of 6-4 and 6-5, and they actually increased their lead. They're now 7-4. Pittsburgh is 6-6, so Pittsburgh drops a game and a half back, and then the Cardinals will have to win their game to see if they can keep pace with the Phillies. Now, of course, we're only 9-10 games into the season, so take this with a grain of salt. I think this will be much more entertaining once we get about 40 or 50 games in. You get some good stats, some good one-loss records, and so forth. And if we want to look at the next game schedule, I've tried to do switch one league to the other. And we started with the National League with the Reds and the Mets. We went to the American League with the Twins and Yankees. We're back to the National League with the Phillies and Pirates. And the next game scheduled will be the game that was played on April. I'm sorry, where'd it go? Here, I got the wrong sheet. Where'd it go? Here we go. Game that was played April 23rd between Seattle and Toronto. So I'm trying to get these teams in that aren't so good early on so their records aren't so bad. But it's a good pitching matchup coming up. It's going to be Dave Stieb against Mark Langston. Toronto and Seattle is the next game in the Inside Pitch season replay. And then by that time, each team should be around 15-16 games, and we'll see what the standings look like. And I've got all the score sheets set aside. In fact, I can go ahead and go through that real quick and show you the future games that I have planned on here for those that might be interested. Not that you are, but if you are. After the Toronto-Seattle game, we go back to the National League. May 2nd, it's the Dodgers-Giants, one of the oldest rivalries in baseball. And it's Rick Honeycutt against Mark Davis. And then we're back to the American League on May the 10th. Rangers and the White Sox. I'm trying to get every team in the game in this replay at least once. Rangers and the White Sox, Danny Darwin against Richard Dotson. And then we're back to the National League, the Astros and the Cardinals on May 21st. It's Nolan Ryan against Bob Forsch. And then on June 2nd, back to the American League, it's the Indians and the Angels, and Tommy John against Steve Comer. And then back to the National League on June the 12th, the Cubs and the Expos. It'll be Charlie Lee against Dennis Eckersley. And then the American League, June 24th, it's going to be the Tigers and the Brewers, Moose Haas against Jack Morris. Then back to the National League, we do a repeat with the Mets, but that's going to happen when you try to get every game in. You got to repeat sometime. This is July 3rd, Nolan Ryan against Bruce Berini. And then back to the American League, July 16th after the All-Star break, Red Sox and the A's. It'll be Bruce Hurst against Larry Sorensen. Then back to the National League on July 24th, the Braves and Dodgers. Pascual Perez, if he can find his way off 285, will be facing Oral Hershiser. And then back to the American League for July 31st, it's the Rangers and the Orioles. Dave Stewart against Dennis Martinez. Then we move to August. It's the Padres and the Astros. I realize we're repeating the Astros, but it's the first time to see the Padres. Dave Trevecki against Joe Niekro. And then August the 14th, the final team to appear is the Kansas City Royals. And it will be, and drum roll for ID if he's still here, Al Nipper against Mark Gubaza. That's August the 14th. Mark Gubaza against Al Nipper. That will get every team on the video at least once. And then after August 14th, depending on what the replay PC dictates as far as pennant races go, I'll pick out whatever the best game is to play for that particular week and try to keep things going that way. So hopefully this is semi-entertaining to you, and if you're interested in Inside Pitch, it is a really good game. I would say it's a small learning curve. It's not that much. The base running is pretty much the only thing that you got to really wrap your head around. But there's so many people playing Inside Pitch these days that you can watch all these videos and probably just learn by proxy. If not, they have a great message board on the Delphi forums. Chris, the owner or the creator of the game, is is really good about answering email questions that you might have. You got guys like ID who play a whole bunch of this game that can certainly give you inside information. Stratmag Delaware, or used to be Stratmag Delaware, now it's Tabletop Delaware. Chris did several tutorials on this game, so that's another thing you can do is watch some tutorials on that. I think the best way to learn this game though is actually just to get it out and play it, or watch people playing. You kind of learn by watching what's going on. You can get the flow of the game. But if you want a detailed blow by blow, then check out Chris Tabletop Delaware. He did several what do you call not demonstration videos, but several teaching videos on all the elements of inside pitch, be it base running, be it hitting, whatever the case may be. So thank you all for tuning in. I wanted to do something. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you're right. John Brewer and his son, they have a real nice little thing on their computer, that kind of little app or something that's really sweet. I wish I had that kind of technology. But they are really good about doing that, and they're doing the Stieb replay. It's really cool. Definitely suggest you check that out. Don't know the exact name of the channel, but just search under Inside Pitch Strasburg and it'll come right up. I would definitely suggest checking them out. And the young man that's with the father does a really nice job as well, and it's good to see somebody young like that getting into not the video games but to the cards and dice. It's kind of one of those things that's nice, because nowadays most of the younger people just want to fire up the PlayStation. Oh, it is John Brewer. Okay. Well, yeah, there you go. Well, you can search by John Brewer, or you can search just under Inside Pitch and Steven Strasburg. It'll pop right up. So, and one thing I'm usually very cheap and frugal, but I did splurge on this dice tower, and I'm glad I did, because it makes the games. Put this up a little bit higher. You can see it. It does make the games easier to play than. Because sometimes I get tired of just doing this all the time with the dice, and they're flying all over the place. Although I did manage to somehow keep it from going into the dice tray here, but usually it works out pretty well. It's just something a whole lot easier especially when I'm playing offline. It's really, really nice, just to kind of gives me a flow, and I get my juices going and everything like that. So definitely something I enjoy. It was well worth the money. If anybody's interested in buying something like this, I got this off of Amazon. And the gentleman that's selling it is called Souza Woodworking Dice Tower, S-O-U-Z-A. Mine was $65 plus shipping. They do it with different wood grains. I think this is cherry, but they have different wood grains that are a little bit cheaper. A couple a little more expensive, depending on the quality of the wood. But I figured this is a once-in-a-lifetime purchase, so this will last me, until I'm not here anymore. So. I'm usually cheap, but this one instance I did decide to splurge a little bit and go for it. All right, so that's going to do it from here. And again, the next game is Toronto and Seattle. I believe I said that was the next game. Go back to my old score sheets again and make sure I've got the right ones. I do believe, yep, Seattle and Toronto is what's up next after I sim all these games. It's going to be a good pitching matchup. Mark Langston against Dave Stieb. And I believe Dave Stieb might have been the all-star starting pitcher in '84. I don't remember off the top of my head. I know he was in the game. I don't know if he was a starter or not. Langston, traditionally a very good pitcher as well, although he was just coming up in '84, so he didn't really get into his heyday until about '85, '86, '87, that time frame. Still a good pitcher in '84, though. So that's going to do it from here. Thank you guys for tuning in. And for anybody that watched the Twins and Yankees in the previous game, when I recorded it, the last play of the game was a double play, and it got cut off by the camera. It was a double play. I actually rolled a 1, and it created a double play. So the Twins actually did beat the Yankees and finished that game off. Meant to mention that when I first started this video. Forgot to do so because I was thinking about other things. But anyway, that's going to do it from here. And as usual, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.